Watch. Hello everybody, this is Robert, Deep Thought Cycle. I'm getting ready to go. I'm a little bit late. I gotta see if I can get early to get a guard for my wife's phone. This is my patio. Some people say that we shouldn't show my address because I'm getting death threats. Maybe they're right. This is my bike. But let me show you really quick inside my home really quick before I go. This is my washing machine and dryer. And you know what? For years and years and years and years, wash clothes by hand. Have a dryer, hang stuff up. And I bought that. It's so hard to buy. It's my Burley trailer here. And this is a picture from a Tibetan warrior that I bought. And my kids are autistic. And in China, they got a lot of mold on the walls. So I got latex paint. I painted this wall 4 times, but you get autistic children alone sometimes, and that's what they do. So I have to paint that again. This is Apollo watching his XFR computer, getting ready to go to his class. And Bobby's in that room sick right now in her bedroom because he's sick. And Slurs is on his break right now. And they're going to our homeschool classroom right now. And Quatak was reading Christine from Stephen King to help his English be better, I hope. And this is his cat laying in his inbox. And I gotta get outside, I gotta get to work. This is my wife, Huang, who's there's Solaris, my little autistic boy, just got his operation. Not with the bag of candy. My God. No, we got this candy here. No. Hey. Somebody found the candy. A little bit. Put in the bowl. Put in the bowl, he said. Enough. Go do your work. Be a good boy and get some more candy, okay? Huang? Huh? We're going to talk about hoppers today. This is my wife. They say I abuse you and beat you. Who does the abusing in our family? I'm a little bit drunk right now. I'm going to ride to work a little bit drunk. Somebody just. Who's the alcoholic in our family? Do you want to say anything to the hoppers that talk so bad that want to kill me? Because they think do I come to China to have sex with all the Asian girls? Since I'm married to you, who do I have sex with, honey? Me. Oh. Did you marry me for all my money?
You have no money.
I am. You gotta look at the camera, they can't hear.
You have no money.
Did you marry me because I'm white?
I don't see any different than Chinese.
I remember my camera. Uh-oh. Come on. Why did we get married?
Why?
You say one word. What word would that be?
Why? I don't know. Love?
Love. I guess so. What is this? Made me so fat. All right. Say goodbye to YouTube.
Bye.
Honey. No. Hey, come here, Paul. Sirs, come here. Now. Now. Hey. 5. Nope. 4. Honey. Say goodbye.
Bye.
YouTube.
Bye.
Stop a second. Let's have a talk to my parents real quick. Here. To the people to watch. Come here, honey. Stop real quick. I have to go quickly. I'm late.
Okay, hold on.
I can't hold on any longer. Come on. Honey. All the people happy think that I think you're Asian or something. Do we have anything like that in our house?
Asian.
Are we racist?
No.
Yep. Do we hate our kids because they're half white, they're half Chinese?
I don't see them different than yellow, black. I
Really?
see them the option.
One of my best friends was black, right? I mean,
I don't see the color different.
neither do I. And, my friends are Hoppas. They got very angry, didn't they?
They are children. They are just children.
They got very angry at us, though, didn't they? They're like, say, want me to die and stuff. Remember that? What do you think about those guys?
Crazy.
Racist? Do you think they even know anything about who we are?
I don't know.
Do I beat you because I'm white and you're Chinese?
I'm
Who-
an alcoholic. I am bipolar, I guess.
Bipolar?
I like to attack my husband in his charming politics work. And I'm depressed.
Who beats who?
I like to attack my husband in his charming politics when I am in the moon up. When I am in the down stage. Got depressed. I like to cry for nothing. And ignoring everything.
Okay, that's right, that's right. Don't worry about it, you're gonna talk. Oh no. Candy party. Give me the back. Don't let me eat all those. Reserve it for me. Okay, everybody. So today, goodbye, honey. I love you. Don't remember what I said. If you're stable tonight, I come home and we be romantic, okay? Okay?
Okay, you can have it.
Okay?
Yeah.
Seriously, hey.
Okay.
Little kids in bed at 8:30, right? Hey?
Yeah, bye.
8:30, right? Huang? Don't call me with craziness tonight, right? Alright. Hi, everybody. Let's do that again. Hi, everybody. This is behind the scenes special, right?
Yes.
Tonight's cool, right? Behind the scenes special. And I took my camera up a little bit. Let me see if we're still on. Oh, I'm late every day. Goodbye, Apollo. Bye bye, love you. See that little boy blowing kisses to me? And you call me racist? You think I see something different in my son? See you later. He's got autism and he could read really good at 4 years old, and he's a dental operation. I'm gonna go to work to get that for him. And these guys at our Hoppa. I'm a little bit late today. Later than I wanted to be. Goodbye, guy. Let's get some music going. Oh my God. We gotta fix this mountain here. And my light's working, we're gonna talk about that.
Plenty of battery left.
Okay, they always say that. They're lying though. So, goodbye, guy. Goodbye, everybody. Be good. So, here we go in the wind and the rain. Now, let me tell you about something. because I drank about 4 beers, I'm a little bit drunk. Don't drink and drive. I have, what was that here? I have a big rugged computer in my backpack, and my pannier that weighs about 10 pounds, and my 17-inch workstation, and I am fat as ever. And I want to talk about our hoppers, about these guys that have accused me of such racism. Like, follow their link. I think we need to address racism, like, hey everybody. We need to address racism as an issue and talk about what it's like. Because I received so many comments attacking me. We'll talk about that. And you know what, like, before I start, on a positive note, you know, don't ride your bike. Don't ride drunk. I'm not that drunk, I'm a professional though. Seriously, like, in Egypt, if you look at the ancient recordings, they would pay the workers in beer. That was part of the mainstream culture. In Germany, the Paulaner monks, during the feast of Easter, Lent, they made a special brew called Oktoberfest, or called Salvador, in which they would put so much carbohydrates because the monks had to fast. Where's my music at? Because the monks had to fast. And all throughout history, beer was a gentle supplement of dietary needs and payment. In fact, England had such a problem with alcoholism that they switched to beer and mead, having bars. Like, I can't give you the specifics. Anyhow, I'm not a rolling pirate today. Well, I am. But not so much. No heart rate monitor. But I have to get a guard for my wife's phone, a case, and after class, I'll go into the computer market to get one of our computers repaired, and I'll talk about that. I'll talk about all that. Let's talk about some like administrative issues right now. I am so delighted to have so many fans, and it's awkward for me to say the word fan. What does that mean even? I have some nice people out there in YouTube land which have written me letters of encouragement and which have offered to send me different things. Which is so awkward for me. I never really had anybody send me anything before in my life, like as a present or something. So, so I guess what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to make an attempt, because it's more than one person, to like answer this question in a way that can be used by many. I have 4 kids. My raison d'être, my reason for being alive. I will set up a GoFund. I think they call it GoFund. When I get a free chance, I'll see how those people do that. And if anybody wants to make a donation, that's super cool. I promise you, it will go 100% towards my kids. I need to get some dental operations, and yeah, I'll try to be pretty transparent about the whole thing. So, if there are those kind souls out there that are able to do something like that, I will try to arrange that, okay? Give me a little while to set that up, because I don't really know how that works. If people want to send me clothes, right now I'm 87 kilograms. And I don't know what that is in English. Jersey and clothes, that's awesome. I mean, don't go out of your way, but that's cool. The thing is, in China, the sizes are different, right? So in China, I might be like a XXL. You know, I'm 5'6" tall. I don't know what that means in American sizes. So like, I guess like XL or something in America maybe? Who knows? Awesome. I'd be happy, and I'd be honored to wear your jerseys. That's so kind of you. If anybody wants to send equipment to be tested, that's awesome too. My bike is pretty awesome. I don't think I need anything really. Actually, I'm scared one day. I'm scared that my trekking derailleur will break, and it's so hard to get these derailleurs since I have the trekking set with a large front diameter. So like, I'll look this up, like what part number that is. And maybe if you have like a extra trekking derailleur, that'd be cool, I guess. If you watch my videos, you know that last year I had a love-hate relationship with my tires. If there's anybody that has an extra set of those tubeless tires I was talking about, I can't even remember the specifics because it was like 4 months ago. Cool. But you know what? I'm happy just to see people out there and somewhere on the earth riding with me and sharing this time. Please don't feel like you have to do that. That's really awesome. I am flattered by the kind people on the internet which have offered to help. I'm so flattered. Humanity does exist. And I always have hope. You know, so I'll make an equipment. I don't want to sell it. I'll make a list, but I'll make a list of that stuff because a lot of people ask me, and really, I don't need anything. I'm a very simple man. If you want to really help something, I'll try to set that thing up for my kids, you know. I need to ride my bike more and try to be a better father. I think that's like something I got to be better myself, you know. And yeah. So anyways, I warm greetings to, I have a couple friends in the US that sent me messages. I have a friend that worked in a bike shop who was treated unfairly, who had passion for his work and passion for his life. And a lot of people, you know, you hear rich people talk about surrounding yourself with profitable people to be successful. You don't realize that profit is measured in different ways. And for my friend out there that I'm addressing directly, don't take it to heart that your boss has treated you in such a way. They're leaking emotions from their own mistreatment. Surely, you know, from every letter I've read from you and from every word that you put into it, I know what kind of man you are. And they were too busy to know. You know? Don't take it personal. Keep going forward. Last night, I wanted to take a video going through the rural streets to go home. And I wasn't able to do that. So, why didn't I do that? No lights, guys. I had no lights. My lysine was dead. And this is a great light, the Deca Drive. Let me tell you why the old Deca Drive is better than the new model. Some of you might remember that I wanted to try to sell things in China. I wanted to try to export. I created this website called mancan'tthink.com. mancan'tthink.com. And I tried to sell things outside of China. I don't know if I talked about that, but the problem was I couldn't get an export license. So it was all kaput. All is finished. Everything for nothing. So, anyhow, what was I saying? A little bit drunk, a little bit. Let me recount. I gotta pee so bad. I talked about the donations and who's got the rewind button? My God. Give me a second, I got a brain fade here. Let me think a second here. Sewer. Such a fresh day, it just rained. If you see that container over there, it says Maersk. I actually taught Maersk in China. I taught in their shipping center. It's part of my clients, my Fortune 500 company. I taught at. Losing my train of thought, man. That's what happens when you get older. Now you guys are watching YouTube right now. You could totally fill me in, but you can't because this is real time, right? So anyways, let's skip that thought because I can't remember what I was saying here. Anyhow, hold on a second. Well, I won't turn the camera off. Well, there's a sofa there. People dump their furniture. So anyways, that's saying about donations and stuff. I'm gonna talk about habits. I'm gonna talk about lights and equipment here a little bit. My lysine light was broken yesterday, right? It's broken for 2 days. And it's a super awesome light. Oh, I remember now. Woohoo! Ah, okay. Isn't that magic? Okay, so I was talking about my light, and I was telling you that, like, I tried to do this computer business, and not only couldn't I get an export license, but like if you try to ship laptops with batteries, it's really hard to ship batteries, right? And I don't want to talk about my failed attempt to export workstations. I will talk about that another time. So anyways, they have this basic law that made it hard for companies to send batteries separate than their project. So like this Lysine light that I have right now with this huge double cell battery, like they couldn't ship it no more. So they started to incorporate the battery into the case. And Lysine is this French company that made these really strong CNC, really cool, like heavy duty materials. Really high quality. So my kids, they like destroyed the rubber button. My wife dropped it in the bathtub, drunk, and they did their best to destroy my light. And I tried to get a new one, and I wasn't able to today. And I found out that luckily I was able to fix it. The contact point was bent down too much. And the plastic mount is so bad. It falls off from the plastic mount. Now I've had 2 of these lights, and I'm gonna do an extensive review later. When it falls off, it falls on the door hinge, and it breaks the door hinge clasp. So you can't close the door, but it still closes pretty good. But it, my friends, if you write it all, it is the most awesome light. When you recharge a battery, it's awesome. Let me tell you why it's awesome. Number 1, companies that make integrated batteries, they do it for shipping. They don't do it for performance. Number 2, I have the Lysine Deca-Drive light, which is pretty awesome because it has the 3rd separate blinking LED. It has a wide field of view, and it's got a strobing LED and extra batteries. If you look, and it's got about 800 lumens. You can put it in overdrive and get more, but I rarely do. Now, if you look at the strobing, and normally in the daytime, not right now though, because I just fixed my light, but normally I keep my strobe light on every day. Sunshine, sundown. If you look at the output in lumens, the new lights of the new generations are only 100 or 150 lumens bright, flashing. On the old generation, the strobe light, which is what I use the most, is twice as bright. So, for any commuter, I strongly recommend you get the box set Deca-Drive if you could find one. They're no longer manufactured and they're very rare, but they're well worth the money, hands down. I'll add that to my equipment wish list, and if there's any viewers that could send me the aluminum clamp, that's great. I've never seen the aluminum clamp, but with the plastic clamp, it doesn't secure all the way. And when your wife or your children take your light off and it bounces off the ground, and I'm sure if you watch my videos, you've seen my light fall off a couple times. I'd be happy to buy the aluminum clamp, but I can't find anywhere in China that has one. The box set has one. Anyways, that's my pro tip for you. Luckily, I was able to pull up the metal plate contact and get my light working. There was another Chinese brand called Raveman. And I'm sorry, I always been a big fan of, well, let me check here. Let's check to make sure my camera's still working here. All right, we're still on. Woo, baby. So, there's a new company. Oh, I'm sorry, I've always been a fan of Mountain Bike Review. And I haven't checked Mountain Bike Review for like a year or 4 months. And when I go back to it, it looks like it's dying. I'm so sorry about that. The death of a classic resource for cycling. There's been no real updated lighting reviews since 2016. He did have an updated review about Raveman lights because I went to get another light. I couldn't stand riding the last 2 nights without a light. It was just too dangerous. And I was gonna get this Raveman for 512 yen, but luckily I gave my light some tender loving care, and I'll do a review. It's not fully charged right now, so I'm not running my daytime lights, but I fixed it and I'm so happy. In other news, I got a new head for my pump, so I'm running at 6 bars. A lot of people say that the Schwalbe Marathon Extremes, you don't run at 6 bars. No, that's wrong, man. If you're doing any kind of commuting, look, I weigh a lot and my bags are full. I run at 6 bars and the tires are great, that's what it says. Now, you gotta make sure you have a strong wheel set, because in the past, I've tried to run on factory wheel sets and I've broken spokes right and left at high pressure. So as long as you got a good build, you know, run at 6 PSI, unless you're doing off-road stuff, in which you're gonna need different tires than these, for sure. Oh yeah, I mean, I drink a couple beers, I feel good. Now, everybody, I just want to say before I dive into the main topic that you guys out there are great. Like the guys that write me messages, and I'm not even expecting, I just put these videos up. I didn't know people were going to watch them. I mean, it really, it's my Prozac, right? I mean, so anyhow, I was drinking some beer tonight, or this morning, afternoon, because I came home last night and my wife was drunk and it stressed me out. Now, I used to be an alcoholic. Yes, I still kind of am. I used to be a little bit drinker more. But I got some beer to cope with my stress, to try to be more patient with my wife. I don't mean I'm gonna beat her or something like they think in Hoppas, right? But anyways, oh, sand. Woo. So anyhow, I had a beer left over, and like I was a bit angry at my father, and we'll talk about that in another video, right? Focus on Happas, the R Happa hate group, because they focused on me. Woo, did they? I want to talk about racism in China. This guy that cut my video and put it up to get 200 or 300 comments of people that want to send triads out to kill me. He has another video on his channel with the picture of his family. And I don't want to present his video for him, but he does a good job explaining it, about how his family was racist. And he grew up in Europe, and they're racist against black people. And the Chinese girls didn't like him because he wasn't white enough. Now, I've written a comment on his blog from my heart. If you go find that video, it's more eloquent maybe than my video here. But I think I need to address him, because he's like a kid that needs a hug. There's an electric car, no exhaust. Now let me tell you what happened. He's in an Ivy League school, and he goes on to relay his experience about how his mom hates black people, and his father and Chinese girls don't love him. You know what? I feel your pain, man. And this video goes out to you. Listen, you never were in China before, even though you're Chinese blood. Chinese culture is so different. When I first came to China, in the countryside, you hear nothing about how big my nose is and how fat I am. And like, this is not meant as an insult. When I lived in East German Mountain Village, I saw German children that saw a black man their first time, went up to touch her skin. In China, there's a lot of culture, and it goes back a long time. If the fairer the skin in China, Asian people or Chinese people, they really admire that. Kind of like the Indian caste system. 90% of the beauty products for women here talk about skin whitening, to make your skin whiter. And their society, forget talking about foreigners, against their own, they see dark skin as being a farmer, and they look down on that. My wife is dark skinned, and she's Zhang from southern Guangxi. Many taxi drivers ask if she's Chinese. They ask if she could speak Chinese. My friend, what you're experiencing with your mother, who's Chinese, has been happening in China for hundreds of years. If you can't understand that, it's because you've never been to this country and lived in the culture. That being said, let me tell you about the Chinese girls that you're meeting that want to date white girls, white guys. Most of the Chinese people, they don't leave China. 99.99% of 1.4 billion people that you meet are not able to leave China. The people that you're meeting are a very selective group of what we call in China the second generation. Their parents have something called Huang, which is relationships, which has elevated them. Maybe they work in the government, maybe private business, but 90% of the time they have extorted situations in which the average person is not able to do to get abroad. They are not a fair representation of this kind of Chinese girls you will meet in China. All of their life is false, pretentious, materialistic, like royalty. Their parents and their upbringing, you know, they're not bad people, but those little girls that you're meeting, they have racist parents, just like yours. They taught them to be like that. They taught them to worship that. And this happens not only in China, but in many third world situations. This is not a uniquely Asian or Chinese thing. What you're experiencing with your rejection, you have to understand. Those Chinese girls you're meeting in Ivy League institutions outside of China, they have been taught racism and materialism since their birth. It's nothing about you. You're a great guy. And if your parents treat you badly because of the color of your skin, because you're half white and half Asian, let me tell you how I think about it. I think it's so awesome that you could be half white and half Asian, because inside of your genetic genome you have multiple diversity of genes that you're more able to evolve and to adapt. If you study anthropology, you'll see that monkeys and groups with low social statuses, they're pushed to go to other groups where they immediately get a higher social status, because in their genome, the theory is by spreading and introducing new genes and new genetic diversity, that makes their genetic makeup even more diverse, which is a good thing. You're lucky you're mixed blood. I hope my children have black wives and yellow. I think that humanity is a beautiful thing. All the colors, and those people that say you should stick to your own, think about it. If brothers and sisters married and cousins and their own race, we would have genetic defects. Scientifically speaking, it's awesome you're mixed blood. Now let me tell you about reality. Let me tell you about the reality of being mixed blood in China. Let me tell you who I am. You think I come over here to fuck people or because I can't get a better job? You don't know nothing about me. When I was young, 26, I was eating barbecue outside a place where I worked, like many Chinese people do in this country. There's nothing wrong with that. I met a migrant worker who walked by the barbecue tent every night, spoke no English at all, could not find America on a map, and we just had good chemistry, and we clicked, and we became girlfriend and boyfriend. And then she became pregnant. And I thought, wow, that's awesome, man. Cool. And I told the school nurse. And at this time, China was different. Women had to be 20 and men had to be 22 to be married to have a baby. My boss told me, oh yeah, you should go kill the baby. In Beijing, I was working in Hubei. If you don't kill your baby and fax me the documents that you killed your baby, I won't give your visa back. So it turned out my school nurse was not so friendly. You know, the school I worked at, the headmaster took me out in China, and there was beggars on the street, 10-year-old kids with cymbals. She kicked them in the stomach as we went to dinner. And they called my boss in Beijing, said, you stupid boy, why you make a baby with the Chinese girl? Kill the baby. I give you your visa, your passport back. Now, I love my girlfriend, and I never had a baby before. So I said, fuck that. If I was racist, I would have ran away real fast. Instead, I told my girlfriend to hide. And they posted police by my door. And they asked me for 20,000 yen, which is a lot of money in 2001. And I called everybody, and nobody helped me. In the end, being I was a aspiring freelance photographer, I said, look it, take my photography equipment and give me my girlfriend. And they said, okay. So they took a lot of equipment from me. And they give me my passport for 3 days. And I ran down to Guangxi, and in the hotel room, across from the bus station, I got a job at this big real estate boss's school, a boarding school, and they granted my visa. And for the Chinese New Year, I ran out to the countryside and met my wife's father. When I first met him as a farmer, he jumped out of the tree with a machete, lived in a hut, no electricity and water. He's a great man. I stayed there for 2 weeks in hiding. Then I went back and I took my job. And everything was okay. Until about 8 or 9 months pregnant. And they saw my wife pregnant in my apartment. So I had to leave that job. So we went to a small room, less than 50 meters big, because at that time, the family planning killing police were so big. And before that, I had to teach in some bad schools. And we hid in the back room of this grandmother's house. And one day, my wife was all like, oh yeah, can I get some barbecue? I got the pregnant woman munchies, right? And it was like 12 o'clock at night. Now, I already went with my wife to Guangzhou to try to claim political asylum so they didn't terminate her birth because she was 3 months too young. 3 months. And Guangzhou embassy laughed at me. So on the way back, the bus had an accident and the suitcases fell on my wife's stomach when she was pregnant, fell on top of the baby. And the bus accident. But we were too scared to go to the hospital because we thought the hospital would kill our baby. So we had to go back. And then one day, after we get back after the barbecue, the next morning, like seven of the neighborhood police come. And you don't know this, but like, it used to be, if you had an unpermitted birth, your boss would pay, your mother and father's boss would pay, the landlord would pay, the local, everybody would get fined. So everybody around you all the time was looking for unpermitted births because they don't want to get fined. So the next morning after I went out at 12:30 at night with barbecue, all these 5 police came up. I know there's a lot of them, right? And they're like, okay, 9 months pregnant, you gotta go take your baby and go kill it now. And I said, and if you think I'm racist, why the fuck you think I'd not let them kill my baby? I said, no, you have to kill me first. But you know what? I just got paid from a general to write a thesis for a student, for his daughter that was going to school in France that owned a major hotel. So I called him up, I said, please let me have 1 day. Give me 24 hours, 40 hours to leave. So luckily, they said, you got 24 hours, get the fuck out of here. And I went out. And when I went out, I got a new flat. And I moved everything in. And when I was moving the last piece of luggage in, some policeman came, put his foot in the door, said, let me see the papers for your pregnant wife. I said, shit, I'll show you tomorrow. I mean, the first time I moved in, luckily, I was able to get a room upstairs because he knew when the police inspection was coming. And at that time, I got this tattoo on my arm. I was working in the government school where the government in China would actually have students to come work in factory to pay off their tuition. And they were in charge of the family planning. On a Saturday morning, afternoon, when I had to go to class, my wife went into labor. And I went to the school and I said, surprise, I have a baby. I have to go to the hospital now. And they said, no, no, no. You go to class first. You know, I had this tattoo of my wife's ID card on my arm in case I got kicked out of China and I couldn't find my son. But I said, oh, no, no, I'm going to the hospital right now. So I took him to the hospital and I paid one of my friends 800 yen and my child was born. And all the people, you think I'm racist? Those people wanted to kill my baby. They came back after he was born, the family planning police, and they said, oh, what a cute baby, can I hold him? And then it took me years to get my son's citizenship and passport. It took me 6 years after he was born to get his ID. It was very hard. It was very stressful. And now they've changed the laws in China. So it's not like that anymore. But when you sit there and you tell me, when I tell my son to jump in the hole and die, if you think I hate my son because he's Chinese, man, you have no idea what I've done for my children. I love my kids. I like all kids. And I love all the, you know, China, you say China, I say Earth. I don't see any war between anybody. I love people. And people do some bad things sometimes, but that's not representative of the whole. And I'm real sorry that your parents made you feel so uncomfortable, man. You know, my parents did some fucked up things to me in my life. And my life is fucked up. I'm not rich. I'm not making so much. I was making a lot of money in America, like the time I was there, but I've got Asperger's, and I just go and I work my ass off, and I love my kids, and I love my wife, and every day I'm scared that I'm not having a pension and what's going to happen to me in my old age. It's a working man's death. And you know what? As scared as I am, there's people in other countries that have it much, much worse than you and I. And you talk about me coming to Asia for a higher job status. Have you ever lived in Asia, man? Have you ever even been here? Because let me tell you something, man. Wherever you go in the world, men, women, mothers and fathers, they just work, man. Not everybody worships a BMW. And I see people that teach English, and you're right. They don't care, man. But teaching is a great job, man. I mean, you can care and you can do a good job. And ironically, if I did this job what I'm doing in China, if I did this in the West, I could probably almost retire soon. That after all these years in China, I'm not gonna get any retirement. And that scares the shit out of me, yeah. So, but of all my problems, and all you people that talk about, oh yeah, I'm gonna find this guy, I'm gonna kill him. Oh yeah, he treats Asian women so bad, and Asian kids. You know what, man? I used to go out when they were trying to kill my kid. I used to go out and hide. And when I was in hiding, I would teach their children that can't go to school without a hookah. I do charity work, like just on my own. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about, man. You haven't even seen your own culture. And like, I'm not blaming you for it. I mean, there's people in China that don't know the difference from one city to the next. And China and different cities is as different in other countries as different countries. As different like going from the US to going across the border to Mexico. You can't understand that difference. If you come here and live here for 5 years and you just stay in Guangzhou, where I'm riding my bike right now, you would not even understand what it would be like in Guangxi or some other places. And Chinese people, Chinese kids, And I'm not talking about the rich second generation that you want to be their boyfriend. You know, they don't know. This is a big country. There's a large population. And humanity is wonderful. Don't be so quick to pass judgment like your parents. You know? So anyways, for all the people that don't understand, why don't you go and read that Hapa post? I've been attacked several times, and like I'm assaulted like I'm part of Hitler's youth. And I've been told that people want to kill me, and it made me kind of upset, because I'm just a poor boy from a poor family. I mean, if the shoe doesn't fit, don't shove it on my foot, you know what I mean? So anyhow, guys, let's talk about the future formats. What I'm doing here. I need to lose some weight, guys. And I have people talking about how they like to see different things in China. So I'm going to try to create a option. So if there's a wish list you want to see, let me know. I'm not riding that much as I need to ride to lose weight. But you know, I need to give my family a lot of time too. I will try to make some extra rides into the countryside areas. And maybe tomorrow I'll go to the area. It's like the old concession area. And I'll try to bring you guys more insight to daily China life, even when I'm not riding. Because I got this expensive camera, and all my life, let me tell you something. I left America when I was real young. Even living in Germany for 6 years before I came here. It's always hard for me to not have anybody to talk to, really. And there's very few people I talk to that have experienced the same lifestyle as me. So, and I got Asperger's and stuff. So I'm happy to share videos with everybody, right? So I'm going to be doing some reviews. I think I could sit down now and talk about how a lot of these things are holding up after 10 or 15,000 kilometers or some, or 12,000 kilometers. And I'll begin some reviews on that stuff. And I hope some videos to make your day funner. I'll begin some more music going. I have no time to make any more music right now. But it's okay. YouTube's not hating me. And you might not know it, but in the last 4 months, my YouTube channel was closed. I couldn't believe it. I protested it. And luckily they opened it. I think they closed it because of the people in our Hapas. I'm not sure. But I wrote them a message. I said, hey, what's going on, man? Don't do that. I expect Baidu and Chinese companies to censor people. Why did you close my channel? And luckily they opened it, right? Up here on the right, where I got my handlebar, I got my bar in the other day, over there. So luckily we're up in action. Now, I wanted to leave earlier to take a computer in, but I don't think I'm gonna have time right now. If I have time, I'm gonna try to pick up this part from my wife's phone. But where I'm going right now, they like to start early, so I might not have time. I wanted to leave an hour earlier than I left, but honestly, I spent so much time trying to fix my headlight and really writing to the subscribers out there. So yeah, hey everybody, subscribe, guys. I don't know. And for the people that are wondering, I have made about $18 US, I think, from my channel. Maybe. I'm not rich. I'm not getting paid. I want to talk about my saddle though. Since I fixed the angle of my saddle, wow, what a great saddle Brooks is. This B52 saddle is awesome. Whew. I'm carrying these 30 pounds or more in my pannier bags, added to the fact that I'm so fat. Super slow, huh? And with the seat, it's not hurting me. You know, I was wearing like cornstarch for shaping. If you're riding your bike and you live in a humid climate, forget the baby powder and the talc powder. If you've never tried it, try cornstarch. But even now, as I adjusted my seat, I don't need it. Now my handlebars, I rose up about 3 spacers. As soon as I could build up my muscles and my endurance, I'm gonna switch them back down, I think, in a more aggressive stance. Look, so this is a beautiful day, everybody. We're going into Zhejiang Newtown right here in Guangzhou. And I'm gonna tell you guys more about the city. Sorry I spent a lot of time about racism. I actually got banned from our Hoppers when I launched the last video. Wow, they could let everybody make videos about hating me. And when I put up another video, they banned me. Hatred is cancer, man. Don't get caught up in it, right? If somebody's hating you, everybody, you know, ride a bike and be free. Be the solitary coyote. Don't bite your own tail. You know? Now this here is a newly developed city that overtook this other part called Tianhe. The most modern stuff. Now what you don't realize is, unlike Tokyo, Japan, when you see this area right here in China, this is completely opposite. It's like going from Beverly Hills to Tijuana. If you're an American, in Germany, they don't have undeveloped places as much as China's undeveloped, or in Europe. Hey, meow. I don't like the huge speed bumps through the new park, so that's why we go in the tunnel here. We're going to the South China University of Technology campus. And this old man, he is fat. Left, right. Glorious, victorious. One keg of beer for the four of us. Glory be to God that there are no more of us, cause one of us could drink it all alone. Damn near, pass the beer to the rear of the squadron. There are no PJs in the Navy, There are no PJs in the Navy, They're all a bunch of career sanitation engineers. There are no PJs in the Navy. Glorious, victorious. One keg of beer for the four of us. Glory be to God that there are no more of us, cause one of us could drink it all alone. Damn near. Pass the beer to the rear of the squad. Okay, I'm sorry. When I was young, I was in the combat control special forces pipeline training, and I made it past the initial selection, and I quit on the way to combat dive. And that was one of the songs we used to sing. And I quit because I love swimming and jump out of planes and shoot guns, but I don't want to be a soldier killing people. So all you hoppers out there talking about better job. I had a job contract as a tactical crew chief. I gave that up to go into special forces. And I gave that up just to be human. So get your facts straight, guys, huh? And I swear to God, man, like, I see this guy's video, man. And all you guys out there that experience racism, man, I love my kids. And I forgot to tell you, let's continue here. When I go out with my kids, everywhere I go, Chinese people in China say like, oh yeah, mixed blood. Mixed blood, they take pictures. My children have never left China, never been to another country. When they go to the zoo, more people look at them than look at the zoo animals. And I'm such an asshole, I yell at the other people, I'm like, what the fuck you looking at? Look at the monkey babies. Stop looking at my kids. So when you're telling me I'm racist, man, you got the wrong idea. My kids hate it, and I'm with my kids. They're not mixed, they call it, in China they say Huang, mixed blood, right? Man, Chinese people say that, not me, man. I'm for like the unified theory of blood is not mixed. it is just diverse, man. You don't mix blood. Humans, like, even another dog, it's not mixed. It's just awesome, man. So get your facts straight, Hoppas.
Speed 15.6.
Stop the hate. All right. So my beer is sweat out. I'm not even close to being drunk no more. Woo wee! Mercedes! Oh no, Tesla's better! Look at all these rental bikes. We're gonna talk about that. Some music. You know, my wife's father-in-law, he once tried to start this, my wife's father, I'm sorry, my first wife, tried to start this tractor, this hand crank tractor in this countryside village. It was like, you go to the smallest village in the Thomas region and you go out like 200 kilometers more, like National Geographic expedition. No water, no electricity, no nothing. And the crank arm on the tractor cranked back on him, backfired. Broke his forearm, his upper arm, and his collarbone. Fucked him up real bad. And I had to go help him. There's no helicopters. And he was 20 kilometers from a paved road in a complete wilderness area. A witch doctor went and put rice on his arm. No pain medicine. And my first wife's father's pretty awesome. Strong as fuck, like this, older than me obviously, but ripped. Like a lot of the countryside people that work in poverty, so strong. And he tried to hide the pain. I could see his jawline. It took me 3 days to get there. I tried to build a splint for him. The daughters were too weak. They couldn't carry him on a stretcher. So I made a full splint for his arm and his collarbone. And we walked back through the fields to get to the dirt road. And he said, man, you gotta stand up and walk. And then we finally stopped the motorcycle on the dirt road and got in a very bumpy motorcycle ride, an hour to the hospital where the children ran around with no shoes on. Poor as fuck. No doctors. They took the splint off that I made him. The first thing, I gotta hurry up. They took off the splint. And all that hard work I did to get in the hospital, he had to lay down in the hospital bed for 3 days. And they took the splint off because they don't have basic first aid knowledge. So the doctor arrived.